Та він нас не бачить.
КАБа нічого поки не знайшли.
Нормально. Охуеть. Оптоволокні.
Погнали!
Tonight we have teamed up with the assault units of the Safari regiment that belongs to the National Police of Ukraine brigade called Fury. These units have been fighting around Toretsk since the start of massive assaults on the city that happened in June 2024. And by now they have been holding the defense here for more than 100 days.
As usual, we go in between night and morning. Our Kirpi MRAP with a powerful electronic warfare system drives along a road line with burned-out pickups. The armor of the Kirpi is not very reassuring, as even a tank can be destroyed by drones nowadays. 30 minutes drive from the peaceful city, we arrive. With a group of scouts, we move into the city. It's hard to compare the number of drones overhead to anywhere else I've been. The worst part is not knowing who each one belongs to. Our group is quite large and it's risky to move around this way.
Батарея отъебнула. Вот сам снаряд лежить. Только я не можу понять, что это за снаряд.
We don't want to end up in videos of Russian drone strikes, so we run from house to house and hide under vines. These spots are usually good for a smoke break and to listen to the fighters' stories.
Вначале був хаос.
In the beginning, it was chaos. They came in huge groups.
But
now their tactic has changed.
Вони переодіваються в гражданку.
They disguise themselves as civilians, carrying rifles and gear in bags, just blending in like locals.
Просто як місцеві. Заходять. Та й нас
They
не
can't
бачать.
see us.
І в нас були задачі.
We had different tasks. We scouted through the gray zone, searching for positions, and encountered the enemy, but mostly reconnaissance. An FPV? Yes, let's get inside.
Саме більше, що дивує,
What surprises me the most
от у нас були такі
is that we'd be in direct combat with the enemy, and civilians would still be walking around in their yards. I don't understand why people don't
Я
leave.
сам переселенець.
I'm a displaced person myself, from the Luhansk region, from Severodonetsk,
Я знаю, що це таке.
so I know what it's like.
Ви звідси місцевий, так?
Да.
Хочете вам вийти? Ні. Ви ждете, так?
Не, никого не жду, я свою жизнь живу. Свою жизнь.
Как жизнь сейчас? Как жизнь?
Так.
As of November the 2nd, 950 people remain in Toretsk. According to the fighters from the Safari regiment, civilians are one of the factors that help Russians move into and through the city. A portion of the people who stayed are collaborating with Russian intelligence services.
The city of Toretsk is divided in half by now, and there are close combats in the city center at the moment. The soldiers describe the situation as consistently difficult, and it's probably the only accurate expression possible. Everything around us is flying and exploding, and it is also very risky to get into the city. And for example, this is the video the soldiers took yesterday. Nevertheless, we made our way here. We will do our best to document the situation in Toretsk today.
Вже
It's been a long time since we've seen tank attacks, so I guess they're not actively using heavy equipment. They come in small groups, taking over house after house, and we either don't have enough people or... Oh, an aerial bomb. Another one might come soon.
Є велика ймовірність, що зараз буде їхній напад.
There's a high chance that an enemy assault will happen soon. Maybe not right now, but in an hour or two. To check if the settings are accurate,
Ми пристрілочну міну випустили.
we fired a test mortar.
Постріл! Подивилися, як вона.
Watched it hit and made adjustments.
Зараз готуємо міни для того, щоб...
Now we're preparing more mortars, so if the assault starts, we'll be ready.
Буває по-різному.
It varies. Sometimes we work a lot.
Прям дуже багато, там за день.
We can fire about 100 rounds.
Близько 100
in a day.
мін. Постріл! Єсть. Постріл! Постріл! Ну, туди, да? Да, получается.
Until recently, the area around Toretsk and New York has been the last defensive positions that has been held since 2014-2015, and with the first massive assaults towards this direction, this line of defense has been lost. So now take a look at the map of Ukraine. You are able to see the territories occupied after 2014 and territories that are occupied since 2022. Looking at this, the scale of the disaster is a little more clear.
FPV.
Мені 24 роки, а сам я...
I'm 24 years old, and I've been fighting since the beginning of 2023. Before that, I was with the police, but wanted to fight. They formed a police unit to join the battle, a new brigade. I immediately applied, got accepted and joined. I've now been fighting in the Donetsk region for a year. I'm originally from the Luhansk region. I used to live in Donetsk, which is now occupied. How could I just sit in the capital with my hands on my lap while my city is occupied? I had to go and liberate it.
In the Fury, or as we say, Loot Brigade, there are both police officers and ordinary civilians. What unites them is that they all joined this unit by choice. Every fighter in Fury is a volunteer. This is evident in their motivation and focus.
For the first 6 months, my mum thought I was standing guard at checkpoints in the Kharkiv region. She didn't know anything. But after my first rotation, when I came home, I had to tell my sister. And my sister told my mum. They're proud of me, but they worry a lot. They're afraid.
Сам боишься, ну вот тут на Торецке, например.
Yes, it's terrifying. But do you understand it has to be done? Someone has to do it. Who else if not us?
The commanders of the Safari Regiment are just as committed as the soldiers. During our mission, we spoke with Sapsan, the commander of the 1st Battalion, who rose through the ranks from soldier to officer.
Яка в них тактика? Вони беруть...
Their tactic goes like this. They send in 2 soldiers, show them where to go, and then track them with a UAV. These 2 soldiers move forward, and once they're killed, and they will be killed, they've located where the fire is coming from. Then that position will be hammered with mortars and FPV drones until it's destroyed. I'd say they're using aviation very intensively at the moment, including KAB and FAB aerial bombs, as well as FPV drones. It's very widespread. In the past 2 weeks, they've been using FPV drones with fiber optic cables.
That's exactly it. The main roads in the city are webbed with fiber optic cables.
На оптоволокні.
It's terrifying. No electronic warfare system can save you from an FPV drone like that. But that's not even the most interesting thing we've seen.
I think we just found the remains of the Russian aerial bombs. So it says FAB 500. I guess this carried the explosive load, and this is the module that helps the bomb to glide for such long distances, to travel such distances.
Я хотів би повернути
I'd like to reclaim the territory, but what's going to happen next? What's going to happen is that they will completely level the settlement with KAB bombs, just like they've done in other places. They move into an empty field, plant a flag on a piece of clay where a house used to be, and say, well, we've conquered it. We understand that so far, there's nothing that can stop a KAB bomb.
Хуяся. А це він був?
If you can see behind me is the residential building, a 9th floor building, and it's basically the start of the city center, and this is where the close combat happens at the moment. So it is too dangerous there and too chaotic. This is as close as we can get to that area, and we're gonna head back right now.
Хотілося б сказати нашим західним партнерам.
To our Western partners who support and help us, we are deeply grateful. But you need to understand the kind of evil we're up against. It's like a tumor on this planet. We need your support because this fight is incredibly hard for us.
Бо нам дуже важко.
Виходимо. Крайній кричав! Погнали!